my God, that's what I look like. Like, how do you fix this? Like, how do you fix this? I didn't realize he had taken off my whole lip.
November 3rd, 2020. Aspiring model Brooklyn Corey walked into an Arizona nutrition shop when an employee approached her and said, "Whatever you're about to go through, you're going to remain positive." This would be an ominous foreshadowing of the living nightmare she was going to experience just 15 minutes later. Brooklyn then left the shop and headed to her cousin's house nearby to have lunch with her. And ironically enough, while she was there, she snapped a selfie of herself and noticed she had a zit on her upper lip and felt very insecure and self-conscious about this. She would even later say she went on to crop her upper lip out of this photo that she took, not knowing just moments after this, she would have no upper lip at all. Brooklyn was then in her cousin's kitchen watching her cousin put away these pots and dishes and happened to notice the pit bull, a pit bull she had known since it was 8 weeks old when her cousin brought it home, one that she had met many times and she would say never showed any signs of aggression or violence towards her, was sitting beside her and her cousin, and so she reached out to pet it. And as she did, she turned around to look at her cousin just for a few seconds and then turned back towards the dog. And as she turned back, all she saw was a blur of fur, gums, and teeth as the pit bull lashed out at her and sank its teeth into her mouth, specifically her upper lip. It would hang on to this lip with all of its strength. So now she begins to grab its head and try to push it back off of her lip, but it is biting down and holding on so tight that it even starts shaking her head a little from side to side. This pit bull would go on to hang from her upper lip for a full minute before she was finally able to pry this dog's teeth off of her face. And as she did, she would later say she saw something fly out of the dog's mouth and go through the air and hit the wall. She didn't know at the time it was her upper lip. All she knew was that she immediately took a big breath. She described it as feeling like someone shoved dry ice up her nostrils. Her cousin took one look at Brooklyn, and all she could say is, "You're going to sue me when you see what's been done to your face." Moments later, Brooklyn was rushed to the hospital, where a nurse would throw a rag over her face and say, "Please cover up," because she could not bear to look at her face. Ultimately, the pit bull was put down, and as for Brooklyn, even after multiple facial reconstruction surgeries, she has, for the most part, let go of her aspirations of being a model because it's been very difficult, as you can imagine, to get work. Instead, she's taken up skateboarding.